So schools deal with a wide range of student personalities. Approximately 20% of all students would qualify for some mental health label. If you look at the other risk factors that kids come to school with, it's about a third of the student population that faces some type of difficulty. How do you find out how to address all of the needs that are there? One of the ways I like to organize a response to that is to suggest that there are 5 overarching keys or themes of how you can support the full range of student personalities who come to a school. So I'd like to talk about each of these 5 keys. The first one is your end goal should be that every student owns their own personality, that they become responsible for themselves, and as they mature and grow and develop, they will eventually be the captains driving their own ships. Owning your personality, knowing your assets and your liabilities is key number 1. The second key is when you're working with kids that you know have certain vulnerabilities, it's important to make accommodations so that those vulnerabilities do not cause that student to have an awful day, to have a meltdown, to have a major escalation. Accommodations are things that we do for individual students to work around some of those uniquely sensitive issues that those students have. For example, a student who has difficulty early in the morning, an appropriate accommodation would be to make sure they have a soft landing when they come to school. They may be an office assistant as opposed to having an academic class for their first period of the day. The third key is teaching behavior, teaching as a tool to shape student behavior. It's the underutilized approach that we have to help students gain better behavior. Teaching, reteaching, cueing, and pre-correcting, they're all related. They're all intended to teach behavior to kids who are not currently displaying the appropriate behavior. The fourth of the overarching keys is we have to create safer schools and safer climates for kids. And the term that I like to use is please remove the stigma. We've got to make the schools safe. And this involves a number of things, but basically starts with adult attitudes of acceptance and support and encouragement and relationship with students who have difficult and challenging personalities. The last of the 5 keys is schools are better organized if they are preventive and positive in how they approach all student behavior. So schools that implement positive behavior interventions and supports would be one example of that. If you use these 5 keys, you'll find that the majority of students who have a range of personalities will be more successful in your school.